Hi, and welcome to Quirky Books with Katie. Today I'm going to be talking about my experiences at BookCon. So in case you did not know, I attended BookCon this Saturday, and it was basically just a giant day dedicated to books in New York City. And I had a lot of fun. So first, I am going to go into the issues that I had with the day, because although it was a very fun day, there were some things that I really did not enjoy. So I'm going to go over those first, and then I'm going to go into what I did enjoy about the day. So the first thing I think that was the problem with BookCon was that I originally bought my ticket when it was Power Reader Day, and from people that I know, I kind of heard about it, and they described it as being kind of a day just to like basically get a bunch of books. I know my friend Cassidy went last year and she got like 30 books. That was not the case this year. There were not that many books, and many of the books that were there you had to pay for. You would go to reach for a book and they'd say, "Oh, I'm sorry, that's $15. And I was not very happy with that because that is not what I was expecting. Although I did get a few books, it was nothing like what I imagined. Another problem with the event, I felt like it was very poorly run. There were way too many people. There was like 10,000 people in the convention center. It was too crowded, and the autographing lines were a mess. No one knew what they were doing. Lines were created and then uncreated, and then some things they made ticketed even though it wasn't supposed to be. I waited in line for an autographing, and it was basically like I was in a mosh pit. I feel like in the future they should really do a better job of kind of organizing everything. And I know that it was their first year, so I completely understand about that. It was just not my cup of tea. So those were my main issues with the day, just that it was poorly run and there were not a lot of books. That kind of did hinder on my enjoyment of the day, but the rest of the day was tons of fun for me. So now I'm kind of going to go into what I did throughout the day. So I actually live in Pennsylvania, so I took a 2-hour bus to New York City, woke up at 4:45. That was not fun, but I actually went with my friend Bryn. She isn't on YouTube, but she really likes to read, and we got to the convention center at about like 8 o'clock, I think, and we got our badges, which looked like this. I think this is a picture of like John Grisham on the front, and then it says like adult on the back. And then after that, I was really lucky. I was kind of walking around, and within 5 minutes I saw a group of booktubers that I knew. Danny from Performing Bookfelf came up to me and we hugged, and I actually then waited in line for about an hour with a bunch of people. It's Shannon from Cozy Tea Reads, Cassidy from Cassidy Von Shea, Kayla from Bookadoodles, Cassidy from Sassy Cassidy 5. I know I'm probably forgetting some people. I think Becca from Be Awesome Be a Book Night, and Lainey from Ginger Reads Lainey, and we all kind of just hung out and took pictures. I will place all my pictures at the end of the video, and they were all really, really sweet. I was so happy that I finally got to meet a bunch of people, especially Cassidy. I have been really close booktube friends with her for a while, and she is the sweetest person in the world. And then after that, we kind of went into the convention center, and that's when you kind of realized that there weren't a lot of books. Within the first like half an hour, I remember we all kind of took just a collective group picture of us going, "Where are all the books?" So then we kind of just like walked around, and I feel like the awesome thing with BookCon is I met a lot of different people. I would kind of hang out with a group of people, then we kind of get lost, but then I'd find more people to hang out with. I hung out with so many people throughout the day. It was crazy. And after that, I was just kind of walking around. I actually got Julie Kagawa to sign one of my books. Brought my copy of the Forever Song to get autographed, so she signed that for me, and she was so nice. And here is the signature. It says, "To Katie." And that was one of 2 autograph signings that I went to during the day. And then after that, I actually waited in line to get an advanced copy. And while in line, I met up with Annabelle from In the Book Corner and Carrie from Carrie for Life. I was so excited to meet Carrie. She is the sweetest person in the entire world. And we actually did end up getting an art advanced reader's copy of Landline by Rainbow Rowell. This is Rainbow Rowell's newest book, and I'm so excited to get it. I absolutely adore Fangirl. And this book is an adult book, but I believe that it is coming out in July. So after that, I kind of milled around a little bit more, grabbed a couple more books, and then I went to my favorite autographing of the day. I actually got to meet Alexandra Bracken. Was so excited for this, although waiting in line for her was kind of hard. It was basically like a giant mosh pit. It was hectic up in there, but I did get to meet her and I did get her to sign books. I got her to sign my copy of The Darkest Minds, which I do not have right now because I'm lending it out to a friend, but I think it just said like happy reading. And Alexandra Bracken was one of the nicest people ever. She was so sweet. And then she was also giving out hardcover copies of Never Fade to sign, so I got her to sign this copy of Never Fade, and it says, "With love, Alexandra Bracken." And I was so excited for meeting her, I almost started crying. I almost cried multiple times during the day. It was embarrassing, but still lots of fun. So now I'm going to go into the books that I got at BookCon. I think I got a total of like 9 books. None of them I'm excited for a few of them, but I also got some swag and some bags. I got a bag from Harper Teen and it says Epic Reads. The back says Harper Teen. And my friend Annabelle got me this bag that says Book Shimmy on it. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the show Tea Time, but it's basically this live show that epicreads.com runs every Wednesday at 3:45. I actually got to meet Margot from Tea Time, which was amazing for me because I've been watching since it came out. So the first book that I got is The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. This is some sort of fantasy book. It looks interesting. I also got Let's Get Lost by Audie Alsaid. This is supposed to be some type of road trip book. I also got The Love Affairs of Nathaniel P. by Adele Waldman. I actually got to meet her and she signed my copy of the book, if I can actually find the signature right here. And she actually drew like a little picture in the book. And then I got this book, The Evil Librarian by Michelle Knudsen. This book looks freaking hilarious. It's about this girl who falls in love with an evil librarian, and it just sounds like the funniest thing in the entire world. I also got Before I Go by Colleen Oakley. This is a type of cancer book, I believe. And the last 2 books I got, my friend Rachel from Evil Clementine actually got for me, and she had tickets to BEA, which was also going on at the same time, and they had a lot more different books and arcs over there. So she got me Falling Into Place by Amy Zhang, which is an arc, and I believe this book comes out in September. And she also got me Anatomy of a Misfit by Andrea Portes, and this book also comes out in September. So those are the books that I got. I didn't do too bad, I didn't do great, but then at 12:30 we got to my favorite part of the entire day, which was the BookTube meetup. This was just such a surreal experience for me. I was almost crying the entire time. So basically, it was in this lounge and there was a bunch of booktubers there. It was really crowded, but it was a lot of fun. I got to meet so many of my favorite people. It was just insane. So I'm going to kind of talk about the people that I met. First, I met Christine from Pullin' Bananas Books. And I was so excited to meet her because Christine is actually the first booktuber I watched, and it's kind of because of her that I make videos. So I met her and I got to see her and her adorableness and her amazing hair, and I almost cried. I also got to meet Kat from Catty-tastic. She was nice as well. She also said that I looked familiar. She asked if I made videos. Proceeded to almost cry, and then she followed me on Twitter yesterday, which also made me cry and fangirl on the floor. I also got to meet Jesse from Jesse the Reader, and he was very nice as well. He said that he saw one of my videos called Opinions on BookTube. Proceeded to me almost crying. There was a lot of me fangirling and almost crying throughout the day. But probably the person that I fangirled the most over meeting was Reagan from Peruse Project. I felt so bad because I was so awkward around her. I was like, oh my god, I love your channel so much. And she was really nice as well. I kind of felt bad for some of the big booktubers though, because they were getting swarmed, and I think it was such an amazing experience because at least when I make videos, I don't really think that a lot of people are going to see them, but then you see so many people come out just to meet YouTubers, and you realize how many people actually care about reading and BookTube. So My favorite experience of that event was actually 2 people came up and asked to get pictures with me. I don't know why, but that was really nice. One of them was, I think his username is freaking hate Gale. He's really sweet. He comes to a lot of the live shows that I do. And also I think the other woman that came up to me was mom of 2 triplets 04. She was very sweet as well. So that was probably the best part of the day. For me, that kind of made it all worth it for me, even though the rest of it was poorly organized, it was full. That was the best part of the day for me. Some of the other awesome YouTubers that I got to meet were Heather from Bookables, Liz from Lizzie Books. I got to meet the girls of Fangirl City, and I actually spent a lot of my day with Danny from Performing Bookfell. She is one of the sweetest people I have ever met, and I really enjoyed hanging out with her. So overall, BookCon was a really good day. It was a lot of fun. There were some things that could have been better, but meeting everyone made it all worth it. So if you were at BookCon, then let me know in the comments down below, or if you took any pictures with me, be sure to tag me in pictures on Twitter or Instagram. So thank you guys for watching. I am actually going to put all my pictures in a little montage after this, but be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you again soon.
I saw them clear, white cliffs they were, on the shore I swear, but I looked away and they disappeared. Now I'm left here in the ocean in One thing's clear, I'm drifting off out to sea, my dear. Oh, I can't stop this sinking fear that I'll die here in the ocean ear. Oh, I have one thing to say from my time, that I have lived a full and wandering life. Now I am ready to meet my maker underneath the waves washing me down. So goodbye.